I'd also like to let you know that the people that they're liminally keeping hostage are the same people that they literally make drink semen. They make them smell poop. They make them smell stinky socks. And a lot of times it's clothing that's thrown away, that's brought to them, and it's not clean clothing. And the people that they have, you know, obviously they deserve clean clothing. They deserve a nice place to live. They deserve better lives than what they're living. I mean, for all we know, that the people that they have that are liminal hostages are being kept immortal. And I've explained the scientific processes for a person to stay immortal. You could do it through liminal technology. You could do it through ionic technology. And, you know, they say you could do it through other ways, but that's the two... That's the two ways that, again, that is... Ain't nobody in the world can say that spit. Thank you. But that's the two ways that really somebody can stay young. Liminal technology, they can literally have someone in their 20s, they could liminally possibly... I don't even want to go possibly because they word things for you. They could alter their own genetics liminally with somebody else's. And sometimes you see artwork, and every now and then when I talk about something, it changes a little. And when I see it smile, and it's normally not, or when the artwork changes, it's like you can see sometimes. It was in the first video. There's terraforming going on the planet, but it affects everything. And it's artwork that's been around for a long time, but somebody has gone through, programming-wise, and I guess they can't get near me because they might get hurt by who they might liminally put near me, but they're trying to... It seems like when I'm saying something that seems right, there's somebody, I guess, that is programmed in to say, yes, you are correct. Yep. And every now and then you'll hear me say, yup, or something like that. That's somebody that has programming in to acknowledge, or I don't like to use the word acknowledge because there's a word game going with the world code. And a lot of words that we use, we really shouldn't use while that word game's going. It's like they just started adding definitions to words that when you start looking at the word, it doesn't add up. I said again. They can't even say a loogie. Hold on. That's just all nastiness. And a company that they're trying to blame is Games Workshop, or at least the Muses. People have always called the immortals that work on artwork and drawings and inventions and music as muses, okay? They're trying to blame that one company for everything going on, but meanwhile, what's been going on has been going on longer than that company's been in existence. So it's odd. It seems like I was born in 81. I don't know if that's being heard correctly. I was born in 1981. Sometimes they change up what you say versus what you hear. And from my understanding, this has been going on longer than 1981. And the company that they're trying to blame hasn't been around that long. It's been around since, I think, either the late 70s or early 80s. I mean, and this is the other shit they do. Online, you can look it up. They would say, oh, it's self-cannibalism. No, it's actually called auto-cannibalism. And you can feel that there's some type of robot that you're lined up with that forces your mouth to close. And besides all the stuff I was talking about, they also sometimes have chemicals in your mouth. And obviously, those chemicals can keep a wound not from healing correctly right away. But here's the thing, whatever the heck's going on, they can slow down your body's natural healing rate. These I've had, from them doing that shit to me, I've had marks stay on me for months. MONTHS, sorry. It's ridiculous. And here's the thing, I haven't been doing this my whole life. I mean, I've typed about it before. If it was a form of cannibalism, I wouldn't even have... I'd have already eaten part of my body. Yeah, there it is. It's whenever this is going on, basically what I'm explaining to people. Because somehow when I was in Texas, I had recorded something with a voice recording, and I was able to record someone else's voice through that recording. And now they seem to have the technology for that turned down so low that I can hear it, but it doesn't seem to be able to be picked up by the videos. Yeah. I don't even know if it's recording my voice. Whatever's going on just needs to stop. I mean, everybody who takes a modern science class, even since the 80s, 70s, I assume, 60s, learns about ionic technology. Liminal technology, not so much, but science talks about the occurrences of what happens liminally in space. Yep. And it could, obviously it's probably happened here on the planet. But the biggest cover-up of it all is mankind is just now getting to the point of where we're learning this technology. And the reality is, if you look at Thomas Edison's life and Nikola Tesla, you saw what they did in one lifetime. Okay? Those men, just imagine one man or a family of men, or men and women, or several families working together over 43,000 years ago to master science. I mean, history says that mankind wasn't smart, or wasn't smart enough to be experimenting with science back then, but the reality is they were. And somebody mastered science. And back then, this is where it's theoretical, but it adds up. It seems like there was good people, and I don't want to say was. I mean, obviously there still is, but if it's accurate, and I want to say it is, and I'm told it is, you have good people, and then you have bad people who have that same technology. And it always seems like the bad people are winning out because they do world stories and they have their way that they believe government should work, but obviously it's not working. Yep. And the good people are doing the best they can, and right now, I'm just hoping the good people win out. And the guy who does this artwork, or the guys, the men and women, it's various artwork, you see. Some of it's very realistic looking. Some of it, some people would say is macabre, or actually, as it's really pronounced, is macabre. It really, I mean, I guess it's perspective at that point. But if they were originally drawing this stuff just for comic books and games, and obviously they've been making games to play, like Dungeons and Dragons and, Space Marines and stuff like that, long before those games were even out here, or were even out, coding-wise with us, then obviously not everything that's drawn is meant to be evil. Especially when some of the message, if you pay attention to some of the artwork, is a lot of the artwork that looks evil is actually kind. There it is. And there's just some people that upload some artwork that, at this point, whatever code's controlling artwork is not always editable for some reason. And that's, they said that certain people seem to be locked out of the ARC files, and the ones that can get anything in there are the ones that they don't necessarily know how to change everything up for the artwork to stop forming. And from what I heard is one of the Immortals was supposed to get me a long time ago. I don't know what's going on there. They were supposed to get me to try to help figure out what's going on with the ARC files and to sit there and try to stop everything from going on and to try to help give people freedom and free will. But, you know, even Christianity talks about there's no freedom and free will. Yeah, Wicca talks about it. Hindi talks about it. There are scientists out there that literally say it's a programmed society. I don't know. I mean, it's like I've been told. None of the Immortals are innocent until they can actually prove they can help everyone. And even then, there's no proof of freedom and free will unless they can actually get me to wherever those computers are to prove that there's freedom and free will. Yeah. And I have coding experience. I have enough experience to sit there and program in freedom and free will and fix any problems that may be going on to where something's being intentionally done to affect people's lives that shouldn't be affecting people's lives at all. But for some reason, it's like none of them can message me or call me. And their biggest thing right now, besides me getting hurt and others around me liminally getting hurt, is I don't know whether the pictures I've been posting are of, I know they're of actual dead people, but I don't know if they're Immortals that have died or if somebody's got a program trying to find people that have died and they're trying to report to the governments where these people, or, well, report to the governments that these people have died, but it seems like even the person who's trying to find them doesn't want to give up the addresses because it might go back to them. There it is. And it could be the same people that have liminal hostages. And if it's the same people, then obviously they're hoping that, I guess, one of the other Immortals catches on and helps out. Yeah. As in helps out, try to... And they've got different perspectives for that. It seems like they're trying to take out the people who are trying to show that there's dead people. But at the same time, that shit's got to stop. If there's no freedom and free will, then the Immortals shouldn't be killing people. And actually, when they do it, it's murder. And they don't like hearing that perspective of how I worded it. My fault. And this is how they fuck with you. They fuck with my wording to make you hear it a certain way, when the reality is certain Immortals are murdering people, and they don't like when I sit there and tell people that, hey, when you program somebody and somebody gets killed because of that, it's that person got killed. Yeah. You can't say it's murdered if you programmed in for that person to murder somebody. It's you doing the murdering. That person's just a person that you are using. And I don't like saying that they're just a person. It's an individual that is being programmed to kill somebody, which by law is saying that person murdered someone. But the reality is, like President Trump and I guess Europe has acknowledged, is that it's a hostage, or not it's, that person is a hostage, and again, there's different people wording things through me. That person is a hostage, and that person is being used to kill somebody, and that's not cool. Let you know there's nobody in here. And that's, like I say, it's all pretty suspect.